Hello, this is SQUIRE from Barcelona. We are in my studio. This is the place where I spend most of the time working in my music, in my whole world, in my little world. And I make music for labels such as Rebellion, Bar 25, My Favorite Robot, Do Not Sit on the Furniture, and Flying Circus, between others. And I have a very emotional feeling for making music. I think music should explain a story. Every time you focus yourself on making a piece of art that has to describe who you are and what you are. For me, the main thing is to understand exactly what you are, who you are. Especially because then you have that extra confidence when you get in the studio to understand what you want to communicate to the world through the music and through your machines or whatever you use to make music and accomplish your dream. That is coming, in my point of view, from inspiration that you don't just get from music. I think you can get it especially from meeting other people, different cultures, traveling all around the world, and this makes you as a person, as a human being, as a professional. And at the end of the day, you feel all of this in your ears and in your heart, and that's a very important part of the music production, at least, or the music creation of things. I think as an artist, it's really important to have your own characteristics. You have your own charisma. And for me, this develops in a way of how you make music, and the way you express yourself in the music process. I try to use instruments, analog gear, hardware stuff, because I feel I'm kind of more protected in a way of I can describe myself better because I can touch, I can play with my hands, I can enjoy and have more fun rather than playing with the mouse or with the computer, which is still great. But I feel, it's kind of really cool when you have something around you and you just make it work and you record it, and then it just makes music, and it makes this magic that bringing it to the dance floor or bringing it to the crowd. I'm sure you really feel it. So at the end of the day, everyone has its own kind of road to make music, but I don't consider myself a singer, I don't consider myself a pianist or a guitar player, but you try to do your best with the tools you have around you. And I'm sure you know much more than what you're capable of doing. So sometimes it's going more and working more with the flow than not thinking too much, just feeling it. When I start a new project, normally I try to do it not in the same way, but I try to do it in a road that I can feel comfortable with, and that is to create a nice atmosphere, a nice pad. And I use that with the Juno 60. I think this is the synth where I feel most comfortable with, because I can create loads of environments and like atmospheric sounds that sound really deep, really warm, and the message is very direct. So yeah, with the Juno, it sounds exactly as I feel. So you can find this sound in all of my productions, or almost all of my productions. And you have so many different parameters to play with, like the arpeggio, which is great. You have different rates, you have some filters as well. It's great. It's really one of my favorites, and I've been using it for a while now, like 2 or 3 years, and I think I'm gonna still use it for a long time, of course. So yeah, on this song we can see here, track is called Lost Again. It's a featuring Jonel, a friend who has done the vocals for me. I've used both synths, the Voyager and the Juno 60, both for bassline and of course the ambient atmospheres pads. I use them both during the whole track. I try to create this nice melodic atmosphere that from then on I can already start working on the harmonies and on the melodies. And then on, I can also start my percussion, you know, I start with the drums. So to have a rough idea, I would start something like this. You know, something really natural, very neutral. Then the bass comes in, and I would start going on with the percussion, which I usually use samples. I don't normally use drum machines. I do love drum machines, but I think to make them sound great, like the 909, 808, you need good preamps, and so I like to have really a bunch of good samples that I can work with and I can process during the music creation. And from then on, I can start already building up the track. You know, I have the vocal here from Jonelle. I have my kick drum. We move forward, we'll see we have first harmony coming, first melody. It's an arpeggiator from the Juno 60, which I love. And it feels so dynamic, it's melancholic, it's exactly the way I wanted to, you know, to have this conviction of the track, the intention of the track. So yeah, it feels flowing really well. So all in all, yeah, basically I like to make this whole atmosphere between these two synths, because I think they really collide really well. I think they go along really, really well, and they sound amazing, both of them. So I would say this is the best example I would have nowadays to show you in terms of analogic and digital sounding. So yeah, that's what I would say the best mix-up for me.